How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing something which is very important in the pursuit of driving safely on the roads. And this is going to be understanding the road rules and when to apply these road rules in traffic situations. So without further ado, we'll get started. So right here we have the speed signs. You can ignore the actual figures that the speed signs say. It's just more about the actual signs. So right here, the sign which has the red circle around it, this is the speed limit sign. So any number which is stated in this circle is the speed limit, and when you're driving you have to be reaching the speed limit as you get there. So as soon as you pass the sign, you need to be driving that speed limit, whatever is set on the sign. Right here, whenever you see a sign that has the 3 lines through it, that means the end of that zone or that sign. So if you see this sign with the 50 with the 3 lines through it, this means it is the end of a 50 zone, and the speed limit will change. So usually you'll see this when you're going from a 50 zone to a 70 or 80 or 60 zone, or to a highway. You'll see that the speed limit ends. Right here, these blue square speed limit signs, these are actually speed recommendations. This is what the people who organize the roads believe is a safe speed. But let's say you're driving in a 50 zone and you see this sign. The speed limit is still technically 50 kilometers an hour, but the speed that whoever set up the road recommends you drive is 30 or whatever. If you're driving an 80 road and you're coming to a corner, you'll see this and it'll say 60, and that's for the recommendation that you drive 60. And then of course here the line coming from the left up top to the bottom, or from the right up top to the bottom left, that means the end of a 30 recommended speed. Right here, this is the speed limit zone. So if you enter a sign, if you pass a sign that says zone 30, this immediately tells you that the area you are has a speed limit of 30 kilometers, and this will stay the same until you're past that zone. Now, the giveaway signs. Right here, this is a right-of-way sign. So if you see this sign, it automatically tells you that you are on a road which has right-of-way. And again, with the 3 lines through it, this means it's the end of the right-of-way road. This, again, is a right-of-way road sign, but this you'll typically see at roads which have the shark teeth at the people adjacent to you, which will it's essentially just another right-of-way sign. And as you can see, there's a line through it which tells you that you have the right-of-way from the other roads. This road right here tells you, or this sign right here tells you that you are on a road which does not have right-of-way, and you must yield to oncoming traffic. This, of course, is probably the simplest road sign. It's a simple stop sign, and if you see this, you have to come to a complete stop before you can pass. Next, the closed road signs. If you see, they have a lot of different symbols for this sign. You can see bicycles or scooters, but right here they have an example of this is a motorcycle and a car. So if you see this at the beginning of a road, then you will know that this, if you're in a car or a motorcycle, you are not allowed to enter that road. This sign simply means no entry, and sometimes there will be a little square sign under it, which essentially says that certain, most of the time it's bikes and scooters that are allowed to go down that road, but you'll see this at a one-way road at the end that you're not allowed to enter. This sign means that the road is a one-way road. Direction signs right here. You see this sign, you know that you'll be, this is typically at a roundabout, always at a roundabout actually. This is a roundabout sign. This sign means that you have a mandatory direction which you have to follow. So if there's two roads and a little partition, then there will be one of these signs which tells you that you have to stay like in that lane during the partition. And then this again is a mandatory direction. This means that you are only allowed to go either straight or turn right, but of course you can also have ones that say you're only allowed to go straight, ones that only say that you're only allowed to go left and right. It depends on the road. Right here, this sign with the line, this is always tricky for a lot of people. This sign right here with the line coming from the right, this means you're on a road where you are not allowed to stop. So you cannot stand still on any road that has this at the beginning of it. This one means you are not allowed to stop or park. So the extra line coming from the right down to the left, that means no parking. This, of course, means parking for people with physical disabilities. Next on, other commands and prohibitions. This sign right here. Anytime you see like if you block out these two cars here, anytime you see the red circle with the white, it means there's something which is not allowed. Like if we go back over to the speed limit, it's mandatory. You are not allowed to surpass the speed limit of 50 kilometers an hour. So right here we have that you are not allowed to pass. That cars are not allowed to pass. Right here it means that you have to yield to oncoming traffic. This right here means that there is that it is this will be under a sign, another sign, like let's say like a one-way road or a mandatory direction, and this will tell you what that sign applies for, or if it's a lane which is only allowed for, in this example, trucks or buses, then it'll say that. Over here, this sign means it is a road for or it is a pedestrian-only area, which means, of course, there can't be any type of car or bike or any type of vehicle in that area. This means a housing zone, a home zone. Cars are allowed to drive here, but the maximum speed limit in home zones is 15 kilometers an hour, and you have to yield to everybody. And of course, it says on the sign as well as always risks of kids, so you always have to be very careful with that. And this right here means a horse path. Right here, this is also very, very important. When you're entering a built-up area, such as a city or town, you will come across this sign when entering the zone, which is considered that town, and that means you're inside of the built-up area, which means that all the rules apply. And then again, with that line, this means you're leaving the built-up area. These are also always warning signs, the triangles. So this is a warning for an uneven road. This is a fence warning, or you'll typically see this at a train crossing. This is a warning for a barrier, so it'll always depend on the specific warning, and then it'll give you the warning sign and then a specific warning inside there. And then, of course, the road signs. If you're on a road and you see the sign that you know that the left lane turns left, the two right lanes go straight, or the farthest right lane, you are able to also turn to the right. This means if you're a regular driver, you don't have to worry about this. It just means that if you have dangerous chemicals, if you're carrying dangerous chemicals, that you have to go in a specific direction. And you always see on the national highways and the highways, you always see road like directions to, like for example here we have to Arnhem and Utrecht, and it tells you which directions to go, and it tells you where you have to get off, which specific roads you have to take, etc. And then you also get, again, like these direction signs, you get this one, and it tells you that this is a dead end, and that you can only go straight here if you want to continue driving. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I really hope you guys can internalize all these road signs. And if you want to learn your theory, you can always buy the book from Vega Best to learn your theory.